Lovely. All right, well, welcome to the practice and thank you for joining. So we're very close to December, aren't we? Sit comfortably for a moment. And how aware we are of what's going on in our minds is something that we practice in yoga. So it's not just the fact that our thoughts become very loud to us, because they do. When we tune into our thoughts, they become very loud. And likewise, when you start practicing yoga all the way through, we still remain human. We still have aches and pains and sufferings, and sometimes they can seem especially strong because we're suddenly much more aware of them and we give them more space. And that can be the same with thoughts. And at this time of year, what I find the pattern can be is because we have retailers upping their game in promotions, got Black Friday, Thanksgiving, and then obviously Christmas, and all the other celebrations around that time. So it's a funny time of year because we're not all Christian, we don't all suffer, we don't all feel like we're a part of these celebrations, but we somehow get swept along in it. And there's also vacations on a national scale. So we often have to think about festivities, and along with that, a sense of generosity. Today's practice, we're going to focus on what festivities mean to us. So perhaps it's about slowing down and connecting with other people. And the sense of generosity we often tie to material things. But what I'd like us to think about today is a little bit about how we can be generous with ourselves. And I don't mean spreading yourselves thin, but I mean offering ourselves and our hours and our connections with people more freely. So we're going to take up our practice a notch today and introduce something called the dancing warrior, which is a series of interconnected movements with quite a bit of flow in it. So that idea that you can move from one thing to another and connect them at the same time. So we're drawing connection and movement together. Let's just close our eyes and tense everything up. Let's do everything we should not do. So let's really bunch our hands into a fist. Perhaps squeeze your toes tight. Bring your shoulders right up to your ears and scrunch your face like it's a raisin. And then like make a growling sounds even. Just make yourself almost feel like you're crocs, almost. And then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, you can just let it all go. Perhaps shake it out a little bit from the arms and the head and the neck. Let a sigh emit from you. And with that sigh, let the shoulders drop down towards the waist. Let the knees go heavy down to the earth. Draw the navel slightly into the chest so you have a sense of activation and connection with the front side of the body. Perhaps even place a palm on the chest or on the belly and come to your breath. So check in that your eyebrows are relaxed too. Your tongue isn't pressing against the jaw. And see if you can draw in your breath, like really connect your breath, really convince your breath to draw in through the nose, fill up the belly. Let the chest rise and exhale if you like through the mouth. Really be pushy with that breath, get it out. Lovely, inhale. Exhale. So if you can't quite get the belly breath, just keep pushing really far down. Feel the connection with the earth. Let the belly rise and fall. Now these breaths, come back to them in your practice. Tuck the chin slightly to lengthen the back of the neck. Still feel your spine is extending up away from the earth. Inhale one more time. And exhale. So if you ever in your practice, as in life off the mat, feel overwhelmed, dizzy, come back to the belly breath. Perhaps you want to sit down, lie down, stand up. Place the palm on the belly, connect to the breath. Remember you're here and now. And that's everything is fine in this moment, okay? So we don't need to complicate it with the past. We don't need to concern about the future. Let's inhale, draw the arms up over the head. Draw the palms into Anjaneyasana, so that's prayer in front of the chest. Exhale. Inhale, extend the left arm to the side, the right arm up over to your left-hand side. Exhale, see if you can send your right hip down to the earth and draw your right shoulder away from your right ear. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. So you'll get more from this if you're active through the fingertips. Let's inhale the right arm up over to the left. Exhale. Have a play with where the palm feels best on the floor. Again, let your right hip heavy down into the earth. Inhale as you stretch your right fingertips over to the left side of the space. Exhale. Come to your belly breath. Inhale. And exhale. Place the palms down. Now, whichever way is the top of your mat, I'd like you to place your palms down towards the top of the mat. Lean over to that top of the mat, and if you had your legs crossed, you could uncross them and just come over so your knees come underneath your hips, your palms are underneath your shoulders. And then just have a moment or two extending and flexing through the feet. So you untuck the toes, and then you tuck the toes and you press the heels away. So you feel that you're getting a little bit of stretch through the feet. And then start to move the hips front and back. Lovely. So feel how that feels in your hips. And then we're going to move into a few fluid cat-cows. So we're going to actually sink the hips down towards the heels in these cat-cows. So you come, sit down towards the heels, and then inhale low until you reach looking up. So your arms are fully extended, and then exhale round and sink back. Inhale low, like you're squeezing under a fence until you can get out the other side. You're looking up to the sky, and then you take your gaze to your navel and sink the hips back towards the heels. One more time. Inhale forward and low. Lift up so your arms are fully extended. As you get to the top of your inhalation, you bring your gaze to the navel. Exhale and sink down. Inhale, take the gaze to the top of the mat and draw your shoulders back up above your wrists. Now we'll go for a little wrist stretch. So I'd like you to rotate your palms, fingertips now pointing towards the knees. And just do a little forwards and backwards rocking motion, just to crack open, not crack, but sort of crinkle open, get some more space in the wrist joint there. So you may feel that's quite nice. If you're quite tender, obviously, you just go easier with this forwards and backwards motion. Perhaps being stable and steady in one position is what's preferable for you. Inhale, really breathe into the openness of the wrists. And then exhale, draw your fingertips forward, tuck the toes, and let the hips drop up towards the sky. First downward dog. Pedal your dog so you bend left and right knee. Keep the navel engaged as you stretch the posterior of the body. So all the chain of muscles on the back of your body getting a nice stretch now. Your spine and shoulders strengthening and lengthening as you are in this position. Then take your gaze up to the top of the mat and we'll come to a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards once again. Inhale, draw up to standing, look up. And exhale, come to Tadasana. So we'll warm through the body with one sun salutation A to begin with. And remember to take adaptations if you would like to. Inhale, look up, draw up. Shoulders down. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, draw the navel into the spine. And then exhale, step back into plank. You can have your knees lowered if you like. Lower down. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Inhale, 1. Exhale. See if you can exhale through your mouth. Inhale, 2. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. Inhale, 3. Let the exhale be audible. Exhale. The base of that exhalation, just slightly clamp inside yourselves as you kind of don't take a breath really. You let yourself float up to the top of the mat. So that's not really on a breath at all. And then you inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. So this is using bandha. We haven't talked much about bandha, but a bandha is like a lock. So you have that sense where you contain your breath inside of you. Shake your head loose. Feel the nice stretch along the backs of the legs. So it can be quite intense on your hamstrings here. Maybe just check in with yourselves how you're doing today. You can give yourselves a little massage to encourage the circulation in the backs of the legs. Maybe interlace the palms behind you and take a little shoulder stretch here. Remember to come back to the navel every once in a while as it's still drawing into the chest. Lift it up and away from the thighs, in towards the spine. Sorry, it's still drawing towards the spine, not the chest. The belly towards the chest is a challenging one. Let the arms drop like rag dolls and then swing, inhale, draw up, look up. Exhale, come to Tadasana. Great, so we're back at the tops of our mats and we're going to do our dancing warrior now. So we inhale, draw up, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. So far, so familiar. Exhale, place the palms, step back into plank, and we're going to lower down. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale into downward dog. Here, inhale, the right leg up. Exhale, draw it forward, down towards the earth. Inhale, turn the back toes outwards so you can come up into your warrior one. Arms lift nice and high, 90-degree bend in the front knee. Exhale, out to warrior two. Inhale, come into reverse warrior. So the left palm comes to the outer edge of the left leg. Avoid the knee and feel the side stretch. Then we're going to exhale and draw all the way down to the earth into an extended side angle. Inhale, draw back up to warrior two. Exhale, place your palms either side of the front foot, rotate the back toes to point forwards, push through the back heel, come back to plank, and then we chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. How are you feeling? That's quite quick. Is it smooth? How does it feel to you? What I'd like you to think about when we transition between the postures, rather than trying to fit the breath in between each posture, is that each posture is the breath. And I hope that makes sense to you as you become more familiar with it and we practice. So we're going to come in to do this on the left-hand side now. When you're ready, inhale, draw the left leg up and through. On an exhale, now inhale, draw up, warrior one. Exhale, externally rotate the hips and come into warrior two. Look over the front palm. Inhale, reverse warrior. Avoid the back knee, feel the side stretch. Then exhale, let your front palm lead you down so it comes to the outer edge of the front foot and the back arm comes up over the ear. Inhale, draw the torso back arm. So initiate it with your right arm, so it expands back open into warrior two. The next movement is an exhale. Bring the back palm from semicircle over your head towards the front. Place the palms either side of the front foot. Step back into plank. Lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let your knees drop to the mat. Maybe mat width apart if you like. It's nice on the hips. Keep the arms stretched. Come into balasana. So it's your choice here. Either you can analyze what had just happened and judge yourself and give yourself a score, or you can just absorb it. So whatever changes were going on with your breath and with your physical expression of each posture, your expression, not mine, what does it feel like to have gone through that now? So how are you now? Very different sort of moment when you let your criticisms go. Can you bring your breath to the belly? And if your forehead nice and heavy on the mat, maybe you prefer to have your arms crossed and your forehead on your arms. Bring the ground closer to you. Just let yourself see what you're thinking about. What are you thinking about? What's for dinner tonight? The best question, but is that for now? Maybe. Might be that your answer is suddenly very clear, but see if you can just not get too involved with that observation, just notice it. This is where scientists in yoga are very good, because you're very good at observing. Right, inhale, tuck the toes, back into downward facing dog. We're going to practice that sequence from the downward facing dog position one more time, each side. So inhale, right leg rises up. Exhale, bend the knee and draw the right foot towards the palms. Place it down and spin the left toes out to the left side. Inhale and draw up to warrior one. Keep the left hip drawing forwards. Exhale, rotate the left palm back. Look over the front fingertips. So you want to have your knee 90 degrees above your right ankle. You might need to stretch that front leg, the stance. Then we're ready for an inhale, aren't we? Inhale and draw the right palm back, side stretch. Exhale, lead forwards with the right arm. Place it outside the right sole of the foot and let the left arm come over the left ear. And then we inhale and draw up to warrior two. Bring the left palm forward so both palms can frame the front foot. Rotate the back toes towards the front of the mat. Step back into your chaturanga and exhale down. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale, and on your exhale, just leave it all behind. Inhale, two. Exhale. One more time. Inhale, three. Exhale. Inhale, take the weight into the right leg as you lift the left leg up. And then exhale, step the left leg in between the palms, rotate the right toes out. Inhale is a warrior one. The exhalation brings you into a warrior two. Lengthen the stance, take the gaze over the front arm. Inhale, reverse the left palm, draw it up and over your left ear. Your right arm extends down the right leg. Inhale. So exhale, come back to warrior two. So pardon me, we need to go all the way down into extended side angle on that exhalation. The inhalation draws us up, back into warrior two. And then we exhale, swing your back toes to point towards the front of the mat. Take your left leg back, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Sorry about that mix up there. But I'm not going to sit here and criticize myself for that, just like I ask you not to critique yourselves too much. Just inhale from the belly here. But this time when you exhale, can you try and exhale through your nose? How was that difference? Try again. Inhale, two. Remember to roll your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale through the nose. Keep that breath nice and long. Inhale, 3. Exhale through the nose. Inhale, take your gaze to the top of the mat and step up to the top there. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold forwards. Shake your head out. Lovely. I'd like you to take your weight now into your right foot and lift, bend up your left leg at the knee, and then extend the left leg away from you. Point your toes down towards the earth so you can look behind and see that your left leg is extended. And then come back to your standing legs. Make sure it's active. The right kneecap is drawing up. Then I'd like you to take your left palm up and place it, so your palm's facing up, on the back of your pelvis, your hips. And just see if you can encourage that left hip, if you had a light on it, to be shining down to the floor rather than to be peeling up towards the ceiling. Because we would be using muscles, but different muscles. And I want us to come into the core here. So it's more active in your abdominal area if your left hip is on the same level as your right hip, or more or less. So you can practice, you can play with having your toe pointed or flexed. See what feels right for you as you come up and away from the support of your right palm. So right leg is nice and active. So warrior 3, you're looking down, the back of the neck is nice and extended. Your arms can be out to the side, or if you want more of a challenge, lift the arms up and forwards. And hold for 3 breaths. You do the counting. Whoop-a. Lovely. When you're done there, bring that left leg back down and just let so if your legs are together, your feet are together, just bounce up and down a few times to ease through the backs of the legs. So you're coming into a semi sort of squat position. And the next time your hips are low, just sit there. Maybe you wrap your arms around yourselves, tuck your gaze in towards the navel, and enjoy the sense of being really gathered in and connected. Feel your breath as it moves you. Bring yourselves to here and now. Silence the critic. So don't let yourselves worry that if you're not analysing your performance, you're failing somehow. You know that whatever you're dealing with, you're doing your best. Let the palms drop down to the earth. Inhale, straighten the legs. And this time take the weight into your left leg and bend your right leg up, extend it behind you. So you take your palm and just check that your right hip is not drawing up too high. So do you feel the difference when you lower your right hip, your abdominals, your inner abdominal muscles start to kick in? So I prefer to have my leg pointed, but you may prefer to have your foot flexed. Just go with what feels right for you as you come off of your left palm for support. So whatever you want to do with your arms today, 3 breaths in that position. Remember, gaze is down and neck is long. So it's going to improve your focus and concentration. And when you're done with your 3 breaths, you can simply let your palms come back down to the earth and your right leg joins the left, and you can balance out that tension once again. When you're ready, inhale and draw up and come back to Tadasana. Lovely. Let's stretch the body out fully with one more sun salutation, and then we'll make our way down to the mat. Inhale, draw up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, find joy in your movements and your breath. Halfway lift. Exhale, place the palm, step back into plank. Lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Smile the chest open. Exhale, roll over the toes into downward facing dog. Keep the hips low as you walk the feet forward. Come to about the center of the mat and then extend the legs out in front of you. We'll come into Dandasana now. So I'll just turn to face you. Feet extended away from you, palms down by the side of the hips. I'd like you just to test what it's like. So look up to the ceiling and feel that little crunch you get in the back of the neck. Inhale, push the floor away from you with the palms. And then exhale, take the chin down a little bit. You feel that stretch in the back of the neck. Keep the toes drawing towards you. Maybe your heels lift slightly off the floor. 5 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Let the shoulders drop away from the ears. Navel into spine. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. 3. Bring evenness into your breath. Be mindful. Exhale. Inhale. 4. Exhale. Inhale, 5. Exhale. Inhale, draw the arms up so the palms point towards the ceiling. And exhale, reach forward. Hold it there. Inhale, draw the palms up one more time. Lengthen as you lift up. Exhale, reach forwards. Let the palms come to the ankles, the shins, or over the toes. Fingertips pointing down. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, hold it up. So you still get the sense that your chest, if it had a light attached to it, shines forwards. 1. Inhale, feel the stretch in the backs of the legs and the ankles. Exhale, see if you can draw the arms back into the shoulder socket. 1 more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale and draw the knees in towards you. Draw the knees in, the soles of the feet towards you. And lay down your back on the mat as we come into bridge. So bridge is similar to cat-cow in that we activate all of the vertebrae of the spine. Let's do this really mindfully. Inhale and float the tailbone. So start with the tailbone and lift each vertebra, peel them off the mat. And as you exhale, can you feel each vertebra contact the mat once again? Keep your knees drawing level with each other. Take a moment when your tailbone hits the mat to pause and think about that lock, that sensation of the air being in you. You're neither breathing in nor breathing out. Hold it for a moment, and then when you're ready, you inhale and draw the hips up off the mat. The vertebra slink up towards the ceiling, one by one. Involve the glutes so the hips can lift a little higher. Tuck the chin into the chest and look directly upright to protect the neck. Have a moment where you hold the breath in your body at the top before you mindfully lower down each vertebra in the spine as you lay them down on the mat. So the third time is when we hold the position with the hips lifted. So this is where it becomes quite important to engage the thigh muscles as you push the knees away from you towards the front of the mat. Inhale, again, really, really mindfully. Draw the tailbone up off the mat. You'll feel your abdominal muscles engage. Send the knees towards the top of the mat. Chin into the chest, and if you like, interlace the fingers And shuffle the shoulders a little closer towards each other underneath you for an extra boost in the chest. And then 5 breaths here. Watch the navel as it rises and falls. The ribs expand and contract with your breath. Exhale. Inhale 2. Draw your focus to the soles of the feet. Exhale. Are you heavying down on the base of the big toe? Inhale, 3. As well as the base of the little toe. Exhale. Inhale, 4, as well as the heel. Exhale. Lift with the glutes. Inhale, 5. And exhale. So to come out, if your fingers were interlaced, place the palms back down by your sides, face down. And vertebra by vertebra, you slowly release the hips back down to the earth. A moment of pause and stillness, a lock. Feel grounded. Before you let breath rush back into the belly on an inhale. And exhale. Ease your knees left and right to release through the hips. And then I'd like you to extend your left leg away from you. Keep your right knee bent up to the ceiling. Lift up the left palm and place it on the outer edge of the right knee. Lift the right foot off the floor to bring that knee closer so it's possible. And extend the right arm out on the floor, shoulder height. Take your gaze towards the right arm. Inhale and exhale. You can lift up your right hip so that your right knee can twist over the left side of your body and come down towards the earth. Bring your focus towards the right shoulder. If your right shoulder has lifted off the mat, can you try and bring it back down? And if you can't, you may need to ease a little bit out of your twist until you find the point where it can. Inhale into the lumbar spine, so the lower spine, that's the region where you'll be feeling this twist. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Feel the belly rise and fall. Inhale. Exhale. So as we come to these postures and the breath, we may slightly panic as to where all that noise has gone. Oh, but I wasn't supposed to be here right now. I was planning something. Have you ever felt like that? Just let yourself be here right now. Whatever you were planning for can't be more important than the present moment. Particularly at this time of year, and particularly with the extra challenges that we have this year, we'll find ourselves really tying up in knots over plans. When you feel like that, come back to your belly breath. Perhaps come into a yoga posture that you enjoy. And remind yourselves of the importance of not being too involved in the future. Remember, we never get to the future. The now is all we have. Lift your right knee up and out of the twist, and then draw it in towards the right armpit. So you interlace the fingers over the knee and draw it up towards the right armpit. Inhale, so let all your feet be nice and relaxed, both legs. Exhale. Chin still tucked. So chin is tucked. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Extend the right leg out in front of you. Inhale. And draw the left knee up. Extend the left arm out, shoulder height, palm facing up. And then exhale, bring the right arm palm to the outside edge of the left knee. And then let your left hip peel off the mat as you come into your twist. So remember, the left shoulder is grounded down. You're looking over towards the left palm. Inhale. So your extended right leg can be really soft here. Exhale. See if you can bring your focus to the benefits that you feel in the lumbar spine. Inhale. And the hips. Exhale as you release tension that may have built up in those areas. Inhale. And exhale. So before we can be generous to other people, we need to be generous to ourselves. So well done you practicing, for sticking with it. Personally, practicing yoga is a really wonderful way to be generous to myself. I can spend a whole hour connected to my breath, right here, right now. There feels no bigger luxury than being able to do that. But the fact that having to call it a luxury, right? That's the challenge. Hello from somebody. Inhale. And exhale. We talked about this in another session. It's like how you greet interruption. You greet them with a smile, right? Not hostility. Welcome it in. When you're ready to release up out of that, you draw that left knee back upright. Interlace the fingers, perhaps in the other way, the other thumb on top, and then draw your left knee in towards your left armpit. Once again, just check in that both feet and legs are fairly relaxed, and the only thing that's really doing when you work the elbows and the arms, tuck the chin in towards the chest, inhale, feel the belly rise. Exhale. So when we're generous with ourselves and we're authentic about being in the moment, when we have that element of ourselves well practiced, we can then start to take it to others. So while we might worry about what to get for whom at this time of year, you may like to remind yourselves how nice it was the last time when you were really in the company of somebody, when they were really aware and alive to you. And perhaps that is the greatest thing that you can bring somebody. So keep your left knee brought in towards your left armpit and bring the right knee in towards the right armpit. And then fold your elbows over the knees and take hold of the hands and just roll left and right a little. Ease through the hips and extend the legs out to the length of the mat. We'll come into our relaxation, Shavasana, with just about 3.5 minutes. So that's massively cut back from the traditional 10 minutes that should be devoted to relaxation, but hopefully you found yourselves winding down throughout the practice. Place one palm on the chest and feel how that centers you. Perhaps you like to place it on your throat even, and see what that feels like, that making contact with where we express ourselves. Then place a palm on the belly. Draw the eyelids closed or leave them softly open if you prefer. Let the toes roll out. And then draw the attention towards your heels and your ankles and feel them weighing heavily like anchors into the earth. Then draw your focus up to the next part of yourselves that feels heavy. So it might be your calves, and let them heavy into the earth even further. Keep your attention awake to the sensations. Where is your next heaviest feeling? Perhaps it's in the hips. Can you enjoy the heaviness of your hips? Really enjoy how they firmly anchor and ground you into the earth, connect you. Perhaps it's your shoulder blades next that you come to, that feel like they make a really nice, solid contact with the earth. And let them, really let them be. So being mindful is about being with ourselves even when we feel judgmental of ourselves, uncomfortable with ourselves. We have to sit with ourselves well before we can sit with others well. But right here, if you're sitting well with yourselves, you're already sitting better with other people. Practicing being well extends beyond you. This practice will be felt by some others because we are so interconnected. Bring the focus to the back of the skull. Feel the heaviness of the head. Such a delicate arrangement of very sensitive organs. Here they are all together, and yet feel the heaviness of the head. See if you can relax the mask that you wear as your facial muscles release and the tension melts away. Feel the belly rise and fall under the palm. Can you remind yourselves of this connection whenever you feel the thoughts are too much, the outside is coming in too strongly. We need to focus on being strong and well in ourselves. It's not taught enough. All right, we need to wake ourselves through the body gently, draw the knees in towards the chest, perhaps a little roll left and right or back and front. Then let the knees fall over to one side and very gradually come back up to seated. One last breath to close the practice and confirm our connection. Inhale, draw up, and exhale, release. Namaste.
Thanks, Emily.
You're welcome.